If someone has actually never seen anything that you've done before, what is the first thing you want them watching and why?
That's a great question. And I have done thousands of interviews and I've never been asked that. Probably Barry Munday.
Is there a reason?
If you've ever seen that, you probably haven't, because that's probably the closest to me. I don't feel like I need to prove my skill set. I mean, I could say something like Angels in America or Fargo or Little Children or, horror stuff, I guess. But I feel like I'd want someone to laugh, so I'd probably give them something. And I haven't done a ton of comedy, but that for me, I'd probably give them that, just to go, wait, that's you? Like, yeah, that's actually me. All this other stuff is kind of so
right.
Yeah.
You also haven't done a lot of sci-fi. So when Roland said to you, do you want to do this? Were you like, yes? Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, no. I really want to do it. I had not done a lot of sci-fi, and I love sci-fi. So for me, I was it's as I like to do a lot of different genres, and I don't work in this space, pun intended, like almost at all. So but I love it. I love sci-fi movies. So for me, I was like a kid in a candy store. It was great.
You've worked with Roland before. What does he actually, what do you think might surprise fans of Roland Emmerich about the way he works on a set?
That he's a very relaxed focus. It's not, even when he's stressed, it's very direct and very easy, probably very German, stop, doesn't look good. Stop, do it over. It doesn't, what are you doing? But it's never, it's always with care and ease. There'll be this, there'll be that. And, it's very passionate and very focused, but it's not, you kind of imagine on a disaster movie, someone like, yes, explosions, here we go, the moon's coming, and just going crazy. And he's just the complete opposite. It'll be this, and then these scary things come at you. And it's really bizarre, and it's very, very chill. So I think that's for me, probably the biggest difference of what you'd expect from these massive, epic disaster movies.
What do you think it is about, people love like end of the world TV shows, end of the world movies, destruction. What is it about that genre that people keep coming back to it?
Because I think there's always a kernel of us, like just a little piece of us inside that kind of feels like, God, what if it did all end? Like what there is something, I don't think people are necessarily fatalistic, but it's twofold. I think you can go see a movie and it's a real escape, and you can walk out and go, well, things are stressful to me, but it's not nearly that bad. So maybe it makes you feel better. But also there's a controlled, I'll give it to you like this. A lot of psychologists think that horror movies can be good for teenagers because there's a release. There's tension and there's a built-in release of the scare. And that actually makes them get over their fears. You see something very scary, and then there's a release and it's gone. And I think there's a similar thing with disaster movies, because a lot of us worry about the disaster or environmental issues or what's going to happen, or life is stressful. But a disaster movie gives you that release and that escape. But usually there's a human a human element that there's also a human elephant. That's a whole different movie. There's a human element that always makes you care about. There's usually a happy ending, right? The world's usually saved. And I think that, with the exception of Don't Look Up, every other movie, spoiler alert, usually ends in a positive way. And I think that makes people walk out feeling like, wow, for an hour and a half, I felt really stressed. And that past 15 minutes, now I feel good. And I think there's actually something psychological if I really break it down.
I am a big fan of James Wan, and I am incredibly looking forward to a certain sequel called Aquaman 2. And I just have to ask you, what can you tease about it? Because I cannot wait.
If you have an Ocean Master figure behind you, I will give you every spoiler.
You don't? It's funny. I don't.
You don't? Oh, then forget it. Sorry.
Well, I will say though.
Next time. Now you know. Next time you interview me, show me an Ocean Master. I'm in.
Well, what the thing is though, like with the first film, you really don't know if audiences are going to respond to it because it's so different, and But
That's
what was
true.
it like actually making the sequel? Because audiences loved the first one.
Yeah. So you take those things that you think people responded to, even if it was, oh my God, can you believe they did that? Like, yeah, we did that. Now we're going to do more of that. So, yeah, I think we found our niche. I think DC has found their way to understand where each movie can fit, even in a multiverse, which is so overused now as a term. But I think clearly the movie went beyond a fanboy demographic, right? Because it made whatever $billions, right? So that affords you a freedom of like, you know what, let's keep it fun, let's make it fun. And we still have our layers of environmental issues. We've got a great relationships in the movie, some fantastic action sequences. So we push all the fighting and the stunts, as we've used crazy techniques between us and Flash that have never been used before. So all these new VFX techniques that we're using. And then storyline is obviously not going to get into that, but James loves to pick and choose from his own mind and comics and how we bring in certain elements, and those little moments that even, I don't know, pick one in the gladiator sequence, like there's an octopus playing drums. Now comic book nerds will go, yeah, well, it's Topo. Like, come on, guys. Like that's who it is. So those little moments, there'll be a lot more of that stuff for sure.
Yeah, also James is on a roll. He is just such a talented filmmaker.
Nah, he's terrible.
Got it. On that note, I got to go. Listen, thank you so much for your time, and I've lesson learned for the next time we speak.
There you go. See you later.